Hello, spiritual warriors. I don't know if I'm on the right channel or not. I have not gone live on YouTube in a long time, so I don't even know if I'm in the right place. I apologize. I am late because I'm technically challenged. Anyway, I hope that if you are following me and you are waiting for this video, that I'm doing it in the right place. So we are talking about gratitude as medicine today, and I do feel like I'm on the wrong link, but I'm going to do my best, and then we'll see what happens. So gratitude is medicine, and then I'll repost this into the Facebook group so that you can read it, or excuse me, watch it. All right. So I'm going to drop in because it has been a very challenging week for me on multiple levels. Actually, not multiple. Well, there's been one incident that created a lot of deep, um, intense feelings and trauma and wounding. I'm losing trauma because it kind of brought up some trauma for me. And this morning I woke up and I started thinking about it immediately at this situation. And the first thing I heard was, "What are you grateful for today?" And I thought, okay, there's the medicine. I'm grateful for I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my breath. And even though it didn't last very long because I went into some spinning after that, it was still medicine. And this is where I've been in this past week. I've had um, a huge betrayal happen. Um, and I'm not going to say to me because I'm not a victim. Somehow I'm co-creating this. But the results, if you were to look at it on paper, it's very obvious. And I went from back and forth from this situation to gratitude, this situation to gratitude. And I got to tell you, the gratitude is really one of the only things that kept me feeling calm and peaceful and somewhat aligned. With myself. So let's talk about gratitude as medicine. You know, like when I first started getting sober, back when I was 28 years old and I was going to AA, you'd always hear people say, like, when you're newly sober, you're like a baby. You're like where you are. If you got sober, let's say you started drinking at 15 and then you get sober, it's like you're a 15-year-old. Like your maturity kind of stops at when you started using. And so people get sober and then there's just a lot of emotions and a lot of things to deal with once you get sober. And they always say in AA, like if you're starting to spin, have you done your gratitude list? Write down 10 things that you're grateful for. And I used to drive me crazy. And I was like, how is writing a gratitude list going to help me? And I just couldn't see it. But now I do. Now I do see it, because when we are in the energy of gratitude, even if it's just for a moment, as I just shared with you earlier, it helps 100%. It goes into your nervous system, into your cells, into your heart, into your organs, into your soul. Because when we're in the energy of gratitude, the frequency of gratitude, it's very challenging to feel resentful or sorry for ourselves or any of the things. And it ends up kind of being a practice if you can get to that place. And like I said, I used to rail against this, like gratitude. And I used to make jokes. It's like gratitude and yoga is going to solve everything. And yoga is not something I practice, but yoga I know helps people. And I do know that gratitude helps people. So it is medicine. Now, when people enter into the program, the 7-month spiritual warrior training, one of the first things we do is we do this book together. the magic. If you don't have this book, if you've never done this book, or you've bought it and then been like, oh, it's just been on the shelf, it's by Rhonda Byrne. It is life-changing, because what it is it's 28 days, I believe, of gratitude practices that build on each other. And you start to retrain your mind and your brain to not go to resentment, not go to woe is me, not go to self-pity, but go into the vibration of gratitude. And when we are not holding a specific vibration like that, everything shuts down. So for example, as I was sharing with you in the beginning of this video, there was this massive betrayal that happened this week. And I'm still processing it. However, when I'm in the energy of anger or rage or any of that, and the gratitude is gone, everything kind of stops. The love never stops, but energy stops. And it pours out of us, and it affects us even more deeply, affecting relationships, business. So, but when we can bring in and hold both, being angry or upset or working through feelings, but also holding the frequency of gratitude at the same time, that is when things can begin to transmute. Because no matter what's going on, and I had a rough week, and no matter what's going on, I'm okay. And I know that, and you're okay. And we have a roof over our head. We are alive today, which is huge. So many people are dying right now. It is incredible, deciding that they're going to leave the planet. And I'll say this, the energy, we are in an invisible war right now. If you've been following me for a while, or you're in the Facebook Spiritual Warrior, you understand this at some level, that there is an invisible cosmic war happening. We are actually in the process of up-leveling our consciousness, and it's messy. And some people will choose not to up-level their consciousness. So my point in sharing this with you is that since mankind, womankind, humankind was born, whatever our birth story is, there's so many different theories out there of how we came to be. Whatever it is, there have been forces on this planet that want to keep us in fear and want to keep us shut down, want to keep us in scarcity. And gratitude, the energy and frequency of gratitude, is a divine energy. It is of Christ consciousness. It is of heart. And when we are truly in that, even if you're faking it till you make it, I'm grateful for, there is something that it negates everything else, because fear cannot live in the frequency of gratitude. So I am practicing this week on a deep level, practicing my faith. And I know that when I'm in gratitude, even though things look challenging on the outside, that is continuously up-leveling my vibration as I'm working out feelings. So what I'd like to invite you to do, I'll pull something from this book, is just for today. And if you want to keep it up, keep going. I'm going to invite you to get this book if you don't have it, and do it with a friend, or do it with someone you know, and do it together, is to write the gratitude list. What are 10 things that you're grateful for and why? What are 10 things you are grateful for and why? And then if there is a specific situation that's bothering you, write what you're grateful for about that person or the situation, even if you can't see it, because there is something in there. Even if it's just like, oh, I'm learning this lesson. I'm in a deeper initiation. I'm in deeper understanding. It is the frequency of God, gratitude. And at the end of the day, no matter what's going on, if we can slip into that frequency and stand into that frequency, It will support us so deeply. And then we can see clearly. And that's also the medicine. Because when we're in fear or resentment or anger, we don't often see clearly. We're in reactivity. And gratitude is not reactivity. Gratitude is a frequency and it is a way of being. And Thanksgiving, whatever you believe about that, I know there's a lot of thoughts around what Thanksgiving really is. But for me, it's a reminder and a time to be grateful. But honestly, we should be living in that. We get no shoulds. We get to be living in that at all times. I'm going to say the last thing I'm going to say is, and this is something I learned in this book, that this book will support you if you begin to pick up gratitude practices on all levels. So, for example, when I get a plate of food, sit down, whether it's at my house or in a restaurant, gratitude for every single step that went into that plate of food, gratitude for the farmers, gratitude if there's animals on your plate, definitely gratitude for the animals, gratitude for the truckers who brought it into the store, gratitude for the people who unpacked it, gratitude for the people who sold it to you, gratitude for the person who cooked it, even if it's you. And that simple practice that takes all of like 10 seconds of prayer brings the vibration of food up. So if we do that into everything, every time you pay someone, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I invite you to bring in that. It's a frequency. And especially if you're struggling with something, stand in the frequency of vibration and be in that, or excuse me, of gratitude. And I'm grateful for YouTube, even though I could not figure it out this morning. I could not. So it was late. I don't even know if I'm on the right channel, but I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for these platforms that we can use our voice and get out there and be of service. All right. Sending you so much love and gratitude today. And I will see you. I'm on 8:30 Pacific live. I didn't go on last week because it was a holiday week. And that's when all the breakdown happened. But anyway, it was a holiday week, but I will be back here at 8:30 next week. All right. I'll see you then.